Hi, everyone. I'm Denise Chan, and I'm the host of Changing Minds Film Fridays with Community Access. Changing Minds is a unique storytelling program that uses film as a path toward promoting positive dialogue about mental health among young people and their peers. We have received over 3,000 film submissions from 88 countries around the world. Many of these films are available to view on this YouTube channel or at communityaccess.org/Changing Minds channel. And a link to our discussion guide is also available there if you're interested in sharing films and having a dialogue about mental health. Now, as part of this initiative, we also have this weekly discussion series that you're watching right now called Film Fridays. And I'm so excited to be your host for today's Q&A with Agnishikha Ray, who created the amazing film Dim and Dimmer. Hello, I'll let
Um,
you introduce
okay,
yourself.
sure. Hi, first of all, thank you for having me. It's really great to we don't have much festivals who cater just towards mental health, so it's really nice to be a part of it. So yeah, so I'm Agnishikha Ray, and I recently graduated in animation from RCA London, and I've been like yeah, working more towards like paper cutout animations and yeah, just like very interested in just like different storytelling forms. So yeah, that's it.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
I'm an animator myself, so your film was
Mhm.
just like so incredible.
Oh,
What
thank
kind
you.
of led you to create it? Like, what was your creative process
Mhm.
like?
Um, so like around the time when I was creating it, I was really interested in this concept of inner child and like how you can heal your childhood wounds through, having conversations with your inner child and understanding your inner child. So, and then I was also really interested in poetry. So, I was just combining everything and exploring different poetics through that. And then the um, the the little lines that you see in the film are like small parts of the poem. So, yeah, it took me, I think, a month or two just like coming up with the whole poem, and then I thought like it'll be great as a film, like visually seeing it in that. And yeah, I think that's how it started. And then yeah, it I felt like it could I felt to make the film more into like a safe space where you can explore and express your emotions and your um different and like understand your different wounds. So that's how it started. And then yeah, I then went into I wanted to make it like really childlike, because like it's part autobiographical, it parts like it under tries to understand the self. So so I used color pencils, which was something that I really liked when I was small. And like if you see like the character has like this red hairband, this red t-shirt, so which was something again I used to like you wear a lot when I was small. So that's how the story um progressed. And then I used like paper cutouts, again something which I used to do lot when I was small. So I like these small elements, I started like building up the whole thing. And then yeah, and that's how I um got into the whole process. Yeah.
That's so amazing. I love the
Mhm.
mixed media approach that you did because you had kind of like the glass painting in addition to
Mhm.
like the paper textures. Can I ask how long that took you to do? Because I know stop motion
Um,
is such a like labor
yeah.
intensive process.
Mhm. I think just the animation took me, I think, 1.5 or 2 months, because
Mm.
I was using this. So our university had this big multi-plane, so like 5 different layers of glass, and so like one layer was with just the paper cutouts, the puppets that I had created, and then one layer was the oil on glass. So which was again, I wanted like these two different mediums because the other character was the it depicted fear or anxiety, so that shouldn't I didn't want that to be in the same realm as the paper cutouts, like just to show the difference. So that's something like I really wanted to explore. So yeah, it was really fun. Like it was really tedious though, like working back and forth, but yeah,
Mm.
it was quite enjoyable.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
mentioning like the character that represents anxiety and
Hmm.
everything, what are some of the themes about mental health that your film shares? Like
Hmm.
you already brought some of
Um,
them up, but
mhm. Yeah, I think I'll say like it has like quite a few layers that I wanted to show in the film. So I think one of them is that like fear and anxiety, especially like I wanted to look into these. the theory of the different stress responses. So fight or flight, which are the basic ones, and then there's like fawn and freeze, which fawn is like succumbing to your anxieties and succumbing to what others say, and then like basically people pleasing or like the coping through that, and then freeze is like just freezing and not knowing how to function around those times. So these the four stress responses, what like I showed them in a whole timeline in the entire film. So if you see like the characters first running, which is um, flight, and then like the character
Mm.
tries to interact with the fear. I call it the fear blob, just to make it more like child like. So yeah, then like trying fawning to the anxiety, like trying to make friends with it, and then there's a point where it tries to fight it fight the character, and then um the character reverts back and she gets scared and then she freezes. So I tried to build that timeline into my film. So yeah, I think that's one layer, and the other layer is like the fear of, because the fear of being so I used to be really scared of looking at myself in the mirror when I was small. So that's something I wanted to depict through the mirror. So like I'm looking at fear and not me. So that was something. So the fear that, again, analyzing the fear of seeing oneself or being seen. So yeah, these are the two themes, I think, the main themes that I wanted to explore in the film. So
Yeah, I love
yeah.
that you kind of
Hmm.
like explored it through like symbolism and like artistically representing
Hmm.
those themes.
Yeah.
So why do you think that like film specifically is kind of like a good vehicle
Hmm.
for discussing mental health struggles?
Hmm. I think one of the main things is that it's quite multisensory, because you're hearing the audio, you're seeing the different visuals, and I think it's it becomes quite engaging for the audience to actually look into it and understand, grasp the concepts better, which I think is really important in these topics. And also, um, I think especially like in my case, I wouldn't be quite confident or courageous to just talk about mental health because of my, my anxieties and social
Mhm.
anxieties. Yeah. So I think film becomes this safe space where you can actually express this. Like you can hide under metaphors, which I think audiences really grasp metaphors and relate to that better than actually talking like directly. And that also helps people to relate to it, because people um yeah, like relate to symbols and metaphors better. And yeah, that's something, I think that's why film becomes a really important tool to help help express mental health topics. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
that kind of goes into my next question about like how
Hmm.
can filmmaking and storytelling break down mental health stigma? Like you
Hmm.
mentioned it being like
Hmm.
easier for people to relate through stories.
Yeah.
Could like expand on that a bit.
Hmm. Yeah, I think because sometimes talking about mental health can get quite serious, and you don't know how what would trigger something in someone, right? So I think film again creates that space where you can just you can feel comfortable sometimes to just be there and talk about things which you wouldn't necessarily do. And yeah, it sparks those conversations where you can just think about it and like you watch it in your own pace, because you can watch it alone or you can watch it with people, and then you don't have to talk about it, but you're still seeping that in. So which I think is really important um uh, in filmmaking and like relating it to mental health. And yeah, I think it just yeah, it makes again it just creates a safe space, which I feel is like really important, like especially for me to talk about mental health. I think that's what film works well. Mm. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
totally. And I like watching your
Hmm.
film,
Hmm.
I felt like I could relate to through like,
Okay.
yeah, the way
Okay.
that you
Thank
told the
you.
story and everything, which is like really
Hmm.
incredible. Um, so yeah, I think that's about
Hmm.
well, we can wrap up the questions here. What are you working on
Okay.
any new projects or like what do you want to work
Hmm.
on next? Where can people find your work?
Yeah, I'm currently not working on any films, but I like I've been making quite a lot of paper, like even for dim and dim, I did like I made my own paper and then like use that as backgrounds. So that's something which I'm still exploring, and maybe like once I get into that, I'll probably use those to animate again further. And then where you can find me on Instagram, it's called Art of Agnishikha, my name. So yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to
Mhm.
see like I'm sure you've posted a lot of behind the scenes of like making all the like
Yeah, I
paper
do have
cutouts and
a few.
everything. Incredible.
Exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
Awesome. Well, yeah, your film was incredibly well crafted. As like an animator
Hmm.
and animation fan myself, I thought it was just
Hmm.
like amazing. So everyone should
Thank you.
definitely go check it out. It will be on the YouTube channel along with this interview. So yeah, thank you so much for taking
Yeah.
the time to chat about it.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, of course.